Hello everyone, this is Crota coming at you, giving you game number 3 in this series. This is going to be a human versus orc matchup. Fly and Yumiko once more going at it. Gonna speed things up until the 2-minute mark as I am pressed on time, but the games have been very exciting as we're looking at game number 3 now, taking place here on Nomad Isle as Yumiko opens up curiously with a Mountain King first. That Spider Crab Behemoth will get taken out. Meanwhile, the Blade Master gonna go after this 5-3-3 creep camp. And I am waiting to see what this peon is gonna do. Alright, Nomad Isle is a map that has the mercenary camp and a relatively easy to take expansion. I highly suspect Yumiko will be trying to set up that expansion early, and then even though he will end up falling a bit behind in terms of tech, he can use this mercenary camp and just build a farm here and then hire Troll Shadow Priest and Troll Berserkers. Mountain King still wandering around here. You can see that Mountain King is going to be low on mana since there is not an Archmage joining him in this fight. Now, meanwhile, let's take a look at what the Blade Master is doing. Blade Master dodges a bit of a bullet, almost killed while trying to creep out that 5-3-3 creep camp. He absorbed a fair bit of damage, but it looks like the Grunt did not take any damage whatsoever. No, that Grunt took a little bit of damage there, but the Blade Master is now going to start to do a bit of harassment. Meanwhile, we're looking at a Mountain King who has a lot of mana and can really cause a bit of problems. Blade Master running around off over here. You can see that the Mountain King perhaps going to go after the Rogue Wizard first. And it looks like, yes, the engagement going to happen. Trying to go and take down that Giant Wolf. Are we going to perhaps see the Blade Master? Yes, Blade Master does get the steal there. And I believe there was a bash there as well. Meanwhile, Troll Shadow Priest taking a bit of damage. It looks like he will get taken out as well. As Fly may try to do the push tactic. Yes, the push tactic on this Grunt. The Grunt was able to escape as the Blade Master wind walked on top of that unit there. As the Renegade Wizard now down to 114. Oh, who got the item? The Mountain King, I believe, got the item there. Yes, 2 claws of attack plus 6. And a claws of attack plus 9 and a claws of attack plus 6. Very, very strong items on that Mountain King. Excuse me. And that Mountain King would already have been level 3 if he was able to take down that earlier Grunt or not get stolen in the earlier fights. So far, Yumiko is setting up that Arcane Tower. You can see the Troll Berserker is there. The Troll Berserkers have high amounts of damage at this stage in the game, but they are a bit of a glass cannon since they only have 450 hit points. Meanwhile, the Blade Master is chasing down the units here. Are we going to perhaps see a bit of a play? And now you can see the Troll Berserker taking a fair bit of damage. The Grunt purposely getting into position as the Blade Master now kind of stuck. Blade Master forcing a wind walk there as we now see a Stormbolt onto a Grunt. Alright, Grunt going to cause the Mountain King to get to level 3, and now this could really turn things around as that Stormbolt goes up more than double in damage, gladly trading a peon or a peasant for a Grunt. Mountain King sitting at level 3. Arcane Tower is now up. Troll Shadow Priest has been rehired as we're looking at Yumiko setting up his expansion. Meanwhile, Fly already teched to tier 2. Stronghold has been completed as the Altar of Storms should be training up a Shadow Hunter. There it is. Shadow Hunter very effective at keeping that Blade Master alive. And there is a lot of talk. I've been reading the comments about how a lot of people feel that the Blade Master is too strong of a hero. The Blade Master is not too strong of a hero. Yes, he is rather annoying and he does deal a lot of damage, but he is definitely not too strong. The reason behind this, or the thought process behind this, is that the Blade Master is really the main damage dealer of the Orc army. That is the reason why you mostly see Blade Master first. Meanwhile, unlike the Archmage, which generally leads a caster army, the Blade Master is such a high priority target because of his high damage that it kind of offsets how strong he actually is. You can see that the Blade Master gets off a Stormbolt there, quickly realizes that it's just an illusion and a bit of mana was wasted. Mountain King sitting at level 3, hoping to perhaps get a Stormbolt off sometime, some way, some shape or some form, but that's not going to be the case as Yumiko now sets up his expansion. Mountain King may get off a Stormbolt there. Yes, Fly may end up losing a grunt for the second time. This could be extremely bad news. And yes, down it goes again. Mountain King down to 53, 55 mana though, as you see a quick Hex onto a Footman. That Footman turned into a chicken will end up falling without any real problems as the Blade Master goes after another Hexed Footman. That Shadow Hunter definitely worth its weight right there, getting two very easy kills off on two unsuspecting Footmen. The Blade Master now on the board with experience at level 3 as we see a Stormbolt go down onto a Shadow Hunter. No real reason for that aside from the fact that you don't want to absorb any more losses on your units. Blade Master still sitting at 3, Shadow Hunter sitting at 1, Mountain King on the board at level 3, and we should be teching the tier 2 here. Yumiko has constantly been getting his keep at his expansion, which is a really important strategy. Not only does Staff of Sanctuary bring your units a little bit closer, this expansion does become much more important later in the game. You generally need to defend your expansion more, and with the call to arms possible because of this keep, it really does end up turning things around. Now let's take a look at this. Great Hall is currently being constructed. You can see that the peasants do move relatively slowly, and someone definitely pointed out to me that Spellbreaker's movement speed is actually faster than a militia. I did not realize that. I thought that the militia had very fast movement speeds, and that's actually not the case. Blade Master now trying to look in here. Are we going to perhaps see a Dust of Appearance charge used? And there you have it, as the Blade Master now tries to make its way over. You can see Windwalk is definitely going to be within the realm of possibility as the Goblin Zeppelin does pick up the remaining units. Blacksmith, Guard Towers nearing completion. Shadow Hunter wants to try and do a bit of a push here, but is not going to be able to do so. He does get to level 2, and that now means we will have Healing Wave keeping up that Blade Master even longer. Alright, let's take a look at this. The Goblin Zeppelin still flying around. As we can see, the Guard Towers have been completed, or rather one Guard Tower has been completed. Also a Blacksmith in the front position, making it very difficult to try and push down Yumiko's towers. Fly is halfway done with his Great Hall, and it really feels like the Blade Master and the Shadow Hunter are getting a bit of an experience lead. Because of that early play from that Shadow Hunter shutting down two Footmen, it makes Yumiko just feel a little bit uneasy trying to do anything out on the field. He knows that he can get caught out of position extremely quickly, and he now knows that he needs to buy himself a little bit of time going for an Arcane Sanctum now, but I do worry whether or not he's going to try and go for an Archmage, as the Archmage is necessary pretty much for any sort of caster army. Mountain King is sitting at level 3. He does have a Clarity Potion as well, meaning he is going to be regenerating that mana, as dual Arcane Sanctums are doubly being constructed with 2 peasants each. Alright. So far, Fly has succumbed to the fact that he just needs to build his army and get his heroes higher level. The Shadow Hunter will most likely stay at 2 here. The Blade Master may get to level 4, and with that, that was what item was dropped. A Potion of Greater Mana, very useful on the Shadow Hunter, but I'm sure a Potion of Invulnerability was really what the Blade Master was looking for. Shadow Hunter just a hop, skip, and a jump away from level 3, and once level 3 is on Fly Shadow Hunter, I do believe he'll be much more free with that Healing Wave. You can see a quick polymorph onto the Grunt right there, and now the Bronze Drake dealing a fair bit of damage. No ensnare that I see, as the Dark Wizard is engaging as well. I do believe that Fly really overestimated his chances on this particular battle here. He should have been using the Healing Wave much earlier. As we can see, now the Giant Wolf has been taken down. A new Healing Wave needs to be cast. There you go, as the Bronze Drake will end up going down. There it goes. Tome of Agility, most likely going to be picked up by the Blade Master, as the Blade Master now gets even more damage with plus 15, upwards of 70 damage before you even land a critical strike. Blade Master wandering around here and trying to head off to the side. Gonna try and ignore that phone call, as it is probably just a telemarketer, as we see a little bit of Maiden of Pain siphoning life from that Raider. Not so good at all, as we're looking at the Overlord making its way over. Scroll of Town Portal actually being used in order to get back home here. Wait, where are the units? And what is going on here, as the Archmage is on the field and does have Ivory Towers. All right, Ivory Towers, Mountain King now coming in, and hopefully they just obviously hang up there, as the flying machine now flying overhead. What's going on? Howl of Terror, the Overlord gonna get taken out, and the Blade Master is getting a fair bit of experience here, gonna be almost level 5 before the next serious engagement. Meanwhile, an Ankh of Reincarnation now picked up by the Shadow Hunter, that most likely will be sold, as it isn't that useful of an item. Meanwhile, Archmage is looking to perhaps set up another expansion here. That looks a little bit strange at this point, as we see Yumiko already quickly going into Blizzard. All right, Blizzard is a very, very strong ability here. Skeletal Warriors now being brought into play as well, as the Troll Berserker may need to back off here. It is taking a lot more damage than I believe Yumiko expected, as we are now going to see the Archmage absorb a bit of damage here. All right, Black Drake will get taken down, and the majority of the creep camps have been crept out. Archmage will get to level 2, and the Mountain King picks up a Tome of Agility, and we have a Potion of Divinity on that Mountain King. All right, you can take a look at this. That Blade Master illusion not going to do much except for absorb a bit of damage, easily taken out. Yumiko now sitting at 66 over 78 compared to 69 over 70. Both sides with relatively the same size armies. All right. Troll Witch Doctors using Sentry Wards, and we've seen Fly actually use this to relatively good effect. In the previous games, I don't know, it looks like he could have trained up maybe 1 or 2 Witch Doctors, but I don't currently see them out on the field, as the Raiders quickly realize that they are not in a good spot at all. All right, Raiders trying to do a bit of an engagement here, and oh, the Spirit Walker taking way too much damage. Healing Wave does come in time, as we see a quick disenchant. All right, Stormbolt onto the Spirit Walker. Spirit Walker going to end up getting taken down. Oh, the Spellbreaker could have just gotten an attack off to finish it off there. Fly trying to keep his units alive, as the Spirit Walker now goes into the ethereal form. Yumiko now being brought over, or bringing over a Paladin to the fight, as we see a Red Drake, a summoned unit, being brought in. A third base now being brought into play, as well as the Speed Scroll being heavily used. The Mountain King is only sitting at level 4, not quite at level 5, as the Paladin falls at level 1. A little bit of unlucky play there, as the Spirit Walker does heal up again. Are we going to perhaps see a bit of push onto the main base down over here? I call this the main base since the majority of the tech and the castle is sitting at this expansion location. Raiders now looking to push forward. They do not have pillage, so the Raiders really just pushing on in here, as the Blade Master gonna lose a fair bit of mana. I don't know if I quite agree with that. The Spellbreaker should be attacking back here, since he cannot get away, and trying to remove all of that mana. Perhaps the Spellbreaker could have been taken down, as well as we now see a quick Stormbolt being laid down. All right, Blizzard onto the Archmage. Archmage in a very, very tough spot. Scroll of Town Portal quickly used, is going to go ahead and Scroll of Town Portal back off to the north here, as the Kodo Beast now tries to get away once more. Priest in a very dangerous spot, once again going to get taken out, as Fly dodges a mortar shot there with the help of a healing wave to keep that Kodo Beast alive and happy just a little while longer. Archmage once more gonna get ensnared. Down it goes at level 2, and Yumiko is definitely in trouble. He is on the ropes, gonna lose perhaps his level 5 Mountain King. Level 5 Mountain King is very, very expensive. No, a quick invisibility. There's a quick disenchant as well, as the Sorceress now gets taken down. All right, that Mountain King is healed back up, using a Clarity Potion to get more mana. We should be getting perhaps an Archmage as well, as that Archmage is going to get resurrected for that Brilliance Aura. Mountain King not yet quite at 5. Or excuse me, now just at 5. So that level 3 Stormbolt should have a profound impact. 375 damage Stormbolt pretty much makes the majority of units that are in the orange instantly dead as long as that Mountain King is in range. Meanwhile, that Red Drake, that summoned unit which was causing so many problems, will finally disappear due to the timed life. Workshop now being added once more. I don't know where exactly we are sitting at in terms of upgrades. The sorcerers have invisibility. That is it. Paladin now also bringing in a couple of guard towers as well, as we see the masonry upgrade by Yumiko. All right, Red Drake is going to end up falling here. That is a whole bunch of just illusions as the Blade Master is running straight on in here. All right, one guard tower going to get taken down. How many more guard towers will get taken down here as we see multiple guard towers are being upgraded? Peasants not repairing, not quite sure why. There's a beautiful thunderclap there as the Blade Master now finishing off many of those casters. All right, mortar teams in the backfield attempting to take down the majority of these units. There is another thunderclap, but it misses one of those raiders as the raiders is able to survive once again. This has just been a very, very dangerous fight, and Yumiko is not playing up to snuff to really come out ahead. But now with the transition of knights, the knights may be enough. All right, let's take a look at what's going to happen here. Are we going to see perhaps a bit of damage? And there goes another raider, that Mountain King, doing exactly what he needs to do to focus down unit after unit. And you can see, I believe that was a scroll of healing, a holy light now onto the mortar team. And it really feels like Fly is actually chasing down a mortar team when it has no real reason to. Archmage dies from a 284 hit point critical strike right there. Remember, that is a level 5 Blade Master, as that Blade Master deals, I believe, quadruple damage with that critical strike. Meanwhile, though, the Mountain King trying to come back around. Oh, there was a big bash there. The Blade Master now in a little bit of trouble. Is he going to be able to get away? Yes, with the help of a potion of invulnerability, as we're now looking at Yumiko losing this expansion here at the center 8 o'clock location. All right. Peasants now trying to get away. They look like they are retreating all the way back. Knights are looking very strong here. There is another knight there. Mortar team, spellbreakers, sorceress, priests, all a very strong composition of units if Yumiko can hold it together. So far, though, Fly has been able to come out ahead consistently in all the fights with a level 5 Blade Master and a level 4 Shadow Hunter. That level 4 Shadow Hunter, once it gets to 5, will pretty much mean that the Blade Master is never going to fall. That Blade Master with constant healing waves and the ability to wind walk away from danger makes him one of the most difficult heroes to match up against, since it's difficult to get a surround or even take him down, as he can deal more damage to you with basic auto attacks than you can to him. Blade Master looking to finish things off here. You can see, what is this down over here? I don't quite know what item it was. Not a Scroll of Town Portal. It looks like it could have been a circuit. No, it was not a Circuit of Nobility. Not quite sure what's going on there, but yes, there was an item. Both sides now sitting at level, or at 2 bases. Mountain King sitting at 5, Archmage sitting at 2, and the Paladin sitting at 1, as we may have Fly really pushing forward in a very strange spot. If he gets separated here straight down the middle, that is going to be a lot of problems. All right, Mountain King now trying to get into position here. Arcane Sanctum, Sorceress Mastery Training, not yet done, and it looks like it will not complete at all. So the Sorceress will continue to only work with invisibility. All right, meanwhile, Paladin currently ensnared in a little bit of trouble trying to get away. There's a Stormbolt onto the Blade Master. Blade Master now gets a Spirit Link to try and stay alive, as Blizzard now raining down on all the units. So far, this front line of Knights and Spellbreakers causing significant problems for the back line of Fly. Fly trying to just really push forward here. It looks like they will be able to do exactly that, as the Blade Master with Speed Scroll going after the Paladin for a third time. However, invisibility going to cause more problems here, as Yumiko loses another mortar team. The mortar team is pretty much stunned into position, unable to move around, as one knight may get taken down. Oh, the knight does get ensnared but survives with 18 hit points, and there is a Scroll of Town Portal. Yumiko dodging a huge bullet, and now Yumiko sitting at 68 over 90 supply. Fly sitting at 65 over 90. Not quite sure what attacked that Blade Master right there, but the Blade Master is sitting very, very close to level 6. Blade Storm definitely within the realm of possibility, and same with Big Bad Voodoo if the Shadow Hunter can get into a good spot. That is a very big if because of that Mountain King. And as long as that Mountain King is anywhere within range of Stormbolt, the channeling effect is not going to really last long. Paladin now sitting at level 2 most likely has Divine Shield. Look, let's take a look at this. Sorceress does end up surviving as we see another Tome of Agility being left behind. Mountain King sitting at level 5 has plenty of mana still. With that Pendant of Energy, he just needs to wait for it to refill a bit longer. Dark Wizard now trying to engage. Alright, what is happening here? Was there a quick cast? Now going after the Mortar Teams, perhaps even going to go for the Knight as the Dark Wizard falls at level 8. And it looks like, yes, we're going to go for Talisman of the Winds for Furbolgs. Raiders are upgraded 2-3. Demolishers are upgraded 0-3. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the Knights. The Knights are upgraded 1-1, and the Paladin will really need to do some extra work to try and get ahead. Alright, let's take a look at what he's going to be picking up. He picks up a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, and with Divine Shield and Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, he should be coming out smelling like a rose. Yumiko now sitting at 80 over 90 supply. The expansion here has been mined out, so Yumiko is pretty much down to 1 base. He doesn't have any gold whatsoever, so it's going to be quite some time before this town hall is completed. Now, perhaps he can sell the Wand of Lightning Shield. No, sells the Scroll of Town Portal and sells some other big items as well. Picks up a Scroll of Healing and now gonna constantly build this back up, but he will end up running out of gold again. If he runs out of gold, he is going to be in a little bit of hurt as we see the Raiders now pushing forward once more. It looks like, no, we do not have pillage as the castle now taking a fair bit of damage. Mountain King trying to engage. However, a Tauren is on the field, and if it sounds like I am surprised, I definitely am. Taurens are not used very often, so it is nice to see them added back to this army, as Fly perhaps going to walk around the corner to set up this expansion. Alright, casters are all in position. Guard towers are all here as well. We can see that the Demolishers are going to be raining in on their attacks here in just a moment. And what do we have here? The movement speed is just average. Yeah, Spellbreakers actually have faster movement speed. I don't know if you guys realize that, but it is a little bit faster, I believe, on the Spellbreakers. If the website is correct, it should be 10% faster, as the Demolishers still waiting to launch their boulders against these guard towers if given the proper position. Alright, here we are. Archmage with level 2 Blizzard most likely. Mortar teams raining down the fragmentation shards. And you can see a Troll Witch Doctor almost taken down a little bit too early. There it goes. And this, if it gives level 3 to the Paladin, would absolutely be hilarious, as Fly would then no longer have the upper hand because of that Paladin's heal. That Paladin's 400 hit point instantaneous heal has become a bit of a problem for many players, as we are looking at more tri-hero combinations. Alright, let's take a look. Stormbolt now going down on Fly. Fly in a little bit of trouble. There's a healing wave trying to get away, but the Raider will be able to back off. Meanwhile, the Mortar teams are all here. You can see the Mortar teams are actually trying to take down, the Demolishers are actually trying to take down the Mortar teams, and this is not looking good. Alright, Mortar team still staying alive here. I believe the Holy Light from the Paladin is still working its magic, but the Paladin desperately needs 3 experience, which the Mountain King is, I'm sure, in abundance of. Alright, Tauren Chieftain trying to run on in. You can see the Demolishers are once more pushing pressure, and we're going to have a little bit of a standoff here until both sides lose a significant portion of their armies. Right now, either side could win or lose this game with a bad engagement, so that is the reason why both players are really taking it easy. Alright, there goes 1 unit there, as the Paladin now finally sitting at level 3. Stasis Trap now being brought into play, and if Fly's Stasis Trap actually goes off, that would be a huge issue. Stasis trap, if it goes off, would stun, yes, the knights right here, and Yumiko in a serious advantage situation, but the Blade Master falls. Wow, the Blade Master ends up falling after a Stormbolt. The Potion of Invulnerability was not enough, and now Fly has a huge comeback coming into this game. Archmage still sitting at 3, Mountain King sitting at level 6 now, but does not have enough mana for that Avatar of Vengeance.
A player's forces are under attack.
Mountain King still wandering about on the field. Sorceress now making their way in as well. We can see Mortar teams and Priest now coming in as a Troll Witch Doctor runs right into the majority of the human army and trolls himself as he gets shut down. Meanwhile here, Tauren now taking a fair bit of damage. I don't know if it has a real true way to escape. It does not, as the Mountain King sitting at level 6, Archmage is sitting at level 3, and I'm still waiting to see where the Paladin is. Alright, there's that Paladin. Paladin also sitting at level 3, as Yumiko still looking to fend things off. So far, one peon of Fly trying to make its way out. Doesn't look like he'll really get anywhere. There is a beautiful Stormbolt. Mountain King sitting at level 6 though, and is now low on mana once more, as Yumiko has yet to get to level 4 on that Archmage. Alright, there goes one poor peon there. Knights are there as well, Spellbreakers, Sorceress, Mortar teams, all ready to go. Meanwhile, let's take a look. Another Sentry Ward taken out, and the Sentry Wards of Fly have really made a profound impact on the game. Both sides constantly just thriving for position, but Fly has constantly gotten the upper hand because he knows where his opponent is. Now, will that continue to be the case? That is a big question, as the Knights are now ready to move in to try and take down some units. Mountain King decides not to finish off the unit, especially since it doesn't have enough mana, and now both sides are once more, well, running on one base. Fly is in high upkeep though. Meanwhile, Yumiko is in low upkeep, gathering about twice as much gold as his opponent. Alright, there is the Blizzard now raining down. There's a Stormbolt onto a Raider. The Raider may end up getting healed. Yes, it does end up getting healed, but it may not matter, as the Raider, speed scroll, and it still doesn't matter, as the Archmage now running down the map. Alright, is the Mountain King going to attempt to use a Stormbolt here? No, he is not. He doesn't have enough mana, as we're looking at the Mountain King getting stopped in his tracks for now. 46, 48 mana, and the Archmage and the other teams are just constantly raining things down as the Demolishers are now falling. Yumiko, all of a sudden, able to gather up a bit of the upper hand by taking down a handful of the Demolishers, and if he can do this while neutralizing the Blade Master, he would be in an absolute clear. Shadowhunter still sitting at level 5 though, as Spellbreaker after Spellbreaker is falling, giving a bit more experience. Scroll of Healing now used in order to try and keep the units alive. It looks like the Shadowhunter may be on his last legs here, as he is down to about 600 hit points, constantly getting healed, but the Mountain King nearby has perhaps 2 Stormbolts. Fly able to push back, Fly able to push back Yumiko, as Yumiko still sitting on one base, and we can see that he's sitting at 58 over 100 compared to 80 over 100. Fly will really need to make some critical mistakes for this game to get any more even. Alright, a little bit of a lull right now as both sides attempting to regroup their armies. Archmage sitting at pretty much full mana, but unable to heal up any more of his units as a Priest does arrive. Alright, let's take a look down over here. That one Priest does not have his work cut out for him. I'm going to be healing the majority of this army, as we're now looking at Yumiko holding on to this expansion here at the 3 o'clock location. All right, it looks like both sides are going to be taking their time. I'm going to be speeding things up just a little bit. We are now seeing at 4 speed as we can see that the Troll Witch Doctors are level 2. Meanwhile, on top of that, they are going to be rolling out here in just a second. And it looks like the red team has found out that there is going to be a bit of pressure coming in from the north. Fly leading the way with that Blade Master. Blade Master really highly potentially lethal hero in one of these instances, as the Goblin Shredder now makes its way back. Fly ready to position himself to knock on the door. 80 over 100. Meanwhile, 66 over 100 for Yumiko, as Yumiko is rather low on money and doesn't have enough gold to really train up enough units to really combat Fly.
A town is under siege.
All right, guard tower is getting absolutely pelted by Fly's units here. We should be seeing that here in just a second. Mortar team's going to try and engage, and there you go. It looks like the guard tower will be able to survive as it is being repaired, and now we have a stasis trap moving in as well. All right, another awesome repair job needs to be in the works, as Yumiko taking a lot more damage from that catapult, and that is still a bit of a big issue. Mortar teams still raining down on all of Fly's units, as we can take a look. Oh, there may be a stasis trap right here, but it has yet to go off. What am I talking about? Fly had placed down the stasis trap, so it is yet to go off, as Yumiko has not gone across that bridge. Mortar teams now quickly getting caught between a rock and a hard place. It looks like this mortar team may not make it. Nope, it looks like he will, as the Raider now still wandering around here. Both of them in a little bit of a staring competition, as both sides really just digging in their heels to try and win this last fight. We are about 34 minutes into this game with still no clear-cut winner. You can see the supply 80 over 100 compared to 77 over 100, so we are pretty much neck and neck in terms of not popularity. We are in terms of just overall stability of the game. Now we can see that the Blade Master has hit level 6. Shadow Hunter is still only sitting at 5, as it cannot level from the little bit of experience that these level 5 creep camps give. All right, Mountain King attempting to clear out a bit of forest. Not quite sure what exactly is being done there. As you can see, more creeping out here off to the north. The Shadow Hunter has double clarity potions and was so close to level 6 in order to get Big Bad Voodoo. All right, Spellbreaker in a little bit of trouble. Is it going to perhaps get cast or get struck there? There it goes. It gets taken down. And now we have Spellbreakers looking to just absolutely tear apart tear apart how everything interacts. All right, here we go. Big fight now coming in. Liquid fire being rained down. It looks like the Taurens will be able to handle it, as Blade Storm now comes in for Fly. Fly with Blade Storm, a very effective tier or legendary ability, just slicing and dicing their way through the majority of units. Healing Wave now healing up the majority of the damage here, as Fly attempting to take down a Paladin, unable to do so as he quickly uses a Divine Shield. All right, let's take a look at what's going to be happening next. The Paladin will need to back off here, and the Dark Ranger is, I believe, the only target the Paladin would really ever want. As we're now looking at, we're looking at the Spellbreakers continuing this push inside the space. It looks like they're just constantly retreating the ground whenever they have the upper hand to regain a better upper hand. Rotate some of the weaker units that were in the back into the front, and now we see Fly with a Clarity Potion attempting to heal up and keep his units alive. All right.
Forces are under attack.
Mountain King still wandering around here. All right, Tauren Chieftain, Stormbolt gets taken down. All right, are we perhaps going to see another Stormbolt onto that Spirit Walker? It looks like no, we are not, as the Tauren was pretty much resurrected. All right, let's take a look at this down, or look at this now. The Fly is trying to take down this Tauren Chieftain, and the Tauren Chieftain is still standing strong at 215 hit points and climbing. Scroll Town Portal finally being used. Shadow Hunter looks to get away, but a Grunt does go down in the process. Potion of Invulnerability did go on as well, but not quite sure what to make of that. Fly having some serious trouble, but then again, so is every player on this map. You can see Yumiko is actually struggling for units. He's sitting at, I believe, 36 over 417. Meanwhile, 50 over 100 for Gigabyte Fly, and that is only going to improve. All right, let's take a look back down over here. Guard towers are all in position. Yumiko walking in with Knights, Priest, Paladin, Sorceress. Very strong combination indeed. Meanwhile, Fly needs to retrain up a couple more peasants in order to mine this base out, as the natural expansion being mined out means that you're not going to be able to get nearly as much. Perhaps just one or two shifts in order to get the rest of that gold mine out. Let's take a look. Where is it? Nope, no more gold mine here. I thought I saw a gold mine here. Nope, no gold mine there. So this is pretty much the only gold mine that is left. Blade Master still wandering around the north side of the map, and both of these players do not want to give up. Zeppelin now being brought in to take down the rock golems, and this could be potentially huge. Holy Light now comes in order to try and finish off these rock golems. It looks like the rock golem is taking far too little damage, as he just looks like he's just taking a little bit too little damage, as we now see another thunderclap coming in from the granite golem. All right, Knight now needs to be a little bit of trouble. There is another takedown there. Paladin now gets to level 5. I don't even know what the item was. It looks like it was an ice shard. So 553 compared to 554, I believe, as we're now looking at the Kodo Beast and the Shadow Hunter and the Blade Master, both of whom are at level 6. All right. We're looking at a very long fight here. We are 41 minutes into this game, and we still do not have a clear-cut winner. Blade Storm, a lot of crazy fights going on between these two players, and none of them are backing down. All right, let's take a look down over here. The Blade Master is looking to take out this flying machine, but the flying machine just hover over some trees, making it impossible to see him. All right. Raiders now venturing off to the north, and I do apologize, the game does seem to be slowing down here. Not much I can do in terms of commenting when both of them are just trying to find the proper position. Gonna go ahead and go to 2x speed once again, or actually let's just go 4x speed here, as we are seeing a little bit of scouting here. The Blade Master looks to do something about this, as we're now looking here off to the north. Shadow Hunter attempting to clear out some of these units here, should have no problem whatsoever, and now perhaps rebuild. Fly on the move. All right, I apologize. Yumiko now sitting on more and more towers. It's going to be very difficult for the Blade Master to use its Wind Walk effectively, as even though he will be invisible, anytime he fights near those guard towers, he will be sensed.
A player's forces are under attack.
All right, Knights now looking to come in and engage. There is a big Stormbolt onto the Blade Master. Blade Master now comes in. Are we going to see a Blade Storm? That's what we need to see. Oh, Ice Shard by the Ice Reverend. And the Ice Reverend is really just dealing a fair bit of damage. Let's see if he will end up getting taken down. And it looks like, oh, the Blade Master now going after the unit. Are the Knights going to be able to finish it off? I'm not sure who got the experience there, as the Avatar now sits at level, I believe, 6. Current level 6 Avatar, perhaps Storm Bolting is within the realm of possibility here, as we now see another Ensnage on the Archmage. Archmage is in trouble for a second time, as we are now looking at the Spirit Walkers trying to back out. All right, Knight still seeing that level 5, about to meet... All right, let's take a look. More Blizzard now raining down. It is going to be a bit of a problem here, as the Blizzard is just starting to rack up more and more damage continually. All right, Archmage now looking to clear out all of these units. So far, Yumiko and Fly have just been really dodging each other so far. Fly sitting at 60 over 100 supply compared to 70 over 100. And Yumiko does have a fairly decent fighting force. There is a bolt right there into the back of the Tauren, as the Tauren is now going to perhaps try to manage an escape. However, the Coffee's now turning around to try and protect all that is going on. All right, in comes the fight the other way. Spellbreakers are there. Spirit Walkers are there. Knights are there. Sorceress and Priest are all there, as Fly now looks to back off. Blade Master could, or the Mountain King could really get in some extra damage here if it had mana. The problem is that he doesn't have mana any longer. So far, we are looking at the Archmage trying to finish off some of these units. It looks like the Mortar team will end up getting ensnared right there and get taken out by the Blade Master. Blade Master, seeing at level 6, does not have enough mana for Blade Storm, and still reining it in. Meanwhile, Healing Ward coming in from, I'm not quite sure whose that was. It looked like Yumiko's for a second, unless he has the item. You can see also the Archmage now in a little bit of trouble. Tauren Chieftain with that Pulverize, dealing so much damage as the level 7 Shadowhunter falls. Level 7 Shadowhunter falls. There is the GG, as Yumiko takes this game. A very, very long, drawn-out game here on Nomad Isle. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.